All right, here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and. Oops, I forgot to read. All right, here we go. Here we go. Come on, guys. Let's do some math. Let's do some math. All right, let's go ahead and do some graphing real quick. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick review of graphing. All right, and then we're gonna go. Of graphing coordinates, and then we're gonna do the graphing. Okay, so in a graph grid, there are four sections, and each section is quadrants. Okay, so the first quadrant. So remember, there are two lines. Okay, so what happens in the two lines is this is called your x-axis, and then this is obviously your y-axis. So on your x and then your y. So in graph, when you're graphing coordinates, you need two numbers, obviously. You need an x and a y, or is it y and then an x? So what happens in the universal math concept idea of graphing coordinates, the x always comes first. So everybody knows that. Okay? Everybody knows that. So for the most part, okay, the first one is your x and then your y. Okay, your x and then, so a lot of you guys already know that. So remember that your x goes first. So you got to look for the number that's on the x-axis, which I colored green. Okay, so that's going to be on your green. And then once you're on that, don't put a dot. You got to go up or down and you look for the y. And the y is normally, on this one, it's going to be orange. Okay, your orange, and that's your y. Okay, so far so good. So what happens in math, we're going to put the first one is A, and you have four sections in this graph grid. Okay, now these four sections are called, does anybody know what they're called? Anybody could type it in. What are these sections called? It starts with the Q. Nobody wants to type it in. Scared? Don't be scared. They're called quadrants. Okay, quadrants. And there's one, two, Roman numeral 3, and Roman numeral 4. Okay, so they're called quadrants. All right. So the first one is obviously this one. So we'll, instead of writing the whole word, we're going to write Q1. So go ahead and write that real quick. Go. Write it. Quadrants 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. All right. Quadrant 4. All right. So there you go. So which one? This one's quadrant 1. So remember, the X has to come first. So how do you remember that? Your alphabets, X, Y, Z, right? X, Y. All right. Or some people have ex wives, you know, or for students, hey, I got back with my ex. And then another kid says, why? X, Y, get it? Get it? Get it? Oh, man, tough crowd. Welcome, Justin. A little late, but you're here. All right, here we go. Okay, so for the most part, the first one is X, right? So let's pick a number X. It has to be positive because I want to be in here. So let's color it. So I'm going to go ahead and color it. Okay. It's going to be yellow. Anything on the yellow works. Anything on the yellow works. Not on the line. It can't stay on the green, nor this orange, or it looks red from this perspective, but yeah, whatever. So the reddish, all right? So it has to be on the yellow. So 3, So you go to 3 on your X, and then your Y, well, it's got to go up. So I could pick any number, so let's just pick 4. So 3, and then there's, go straight up, and then there's your 4. So there you go. So that's going to be letter E. 3 comma 4. Okay, so again, the green, okay, and then this color, I think this is the color, yeah, and then the 4, 3 comma 4. Okay, and then you can do this if you want, you know, but you don't need those lines, all right? That's just for you. You can do it lightly if you want. So another one, again, so remember, I'm going to call on individuals. Okay, so if you're not replying, that means that you're not there. So I already have like these kids that I have to call. I mean, I'm not going to tell you who, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 6 kids I have to call parents. You know, if it keeps up, you know. So I don't like doing that, but it's all good. All right, so the next one is let's pick 1, comma, and then let's just go to 1. So where is that? 1, comma 1, right there, and that's going to be your B. Because again, this is your 1, and this is your 1. Okay, and you just pull it off, but there you go. Bam. Okay, so that's your quadrant 1. So again, I'm just reviewing. Some of you guys already know this, but some of you guys decide. So let's go ahead and do quadrant 2. Okay, quadrant 2 is going to be on the left side right here. So I'm going to go ahead and color that blue. Okay, so I'm going to ask the same question from different people. Please don't say, what are we doing? Because that means you're doing something else, please. So quadrant 2, if we start here, remember it's first X, right? X, which is a negative, so you have to do a negative. So negative, and then you have to go up. So that's positive. Okay, that's quadrant 2. There has to be a negative number and then a positive number. Okay, so I'm going to do one. Negative 4, comma 1. So it's going to go up right there. So negative 4, comma 1. Okay, so far so good. Negative 4, comma 1. Okay, so that's your C. I'm going to do one more. So please pay attention because I'm going to call random people. Like I could call Enrique Soto, right? So D, I can do another negative. Negative 1, comma 3. Because negative 1 is first and then the 3. And there you go. Okay? And that's all I'm asking for. We're doing the basic stuff, guys, before we get into the grafting. All right? So that's kind of the part right here. So I know some of you guys are. All right, here we go. All right, so here we go. Let me call on Jimmy Ordonez. Jimmy Ordonez. So can you give me a coordinate that's going to fall in quadrant 2? Negative 3, which is the green first, the X is first, and then 2. Yep, it would be right there. Good. Let's see. Sierra, can you give me one? Can you give me a coordinate? Negative 2 and positive 1. Negative 2, positive 1. Yes, that's good. That falls in there. And one more. Jonathan Lamas. Jonathan Lamas, can you give me a coordinate? Por favor. Jonathan Lamas? No? All right, cool. That's no problem. Let's see. Let's see. Enrique Soto. Yeah, Enrique Soto. A coordinate that falls in quadrant 2. Enrique Soto.
Negative 2 and positive 4.
-2, +4 would be right there. Yep. Very good. That's it, right? Pretty easy. -2, +4. All right. Like I could give you a question and say, okay, which of all these falls in quadrant 2? So you got to remember, oh, quadrant 2 is on the left side over there. So negative, then positive. Okay. So you have to visualize that. All right. So then after quadrant 2, okay, there's what? Quadrant 3. So quadrant 3. So quadrant 3 is in the bottom. And I don't know why they did it that way. I don't know what. So quadrant 3, I'm going to go ahead and do a different color. And then I'm going to do purple. Okay, it has to be on the line. I mean, can't be on the line. That's something else. Okay, so there's your purple. I hope it looks like purple. I don't know. All right, so then again, when we're starting in the origin, to get to the purple section, quadrant 3, it's going to be a negative number. And then a what? I have to go down, right? Your y has to go down. So that's also going to be negative. So you see, it doesn't matter which number you use. Both numbers have to be negative, negative. All right? So let's pick one. -4, comma, -1. -4, x, -1, right there. So that'll be your E. And another one, -1, comma, -6. But mister, you don't have -6. We could try to guess where it is. -1, and then all the way 4, 5. So it's probably going to be right there. -6, that's F. Okay? So EF. So again, there's your E, right? And then your Y, your X, and then your Y. So X, Y, X, Y. All right? Cool? All right, so let's keep going. Nathan Sanchez, can you give me a coordinate that's going to fall on quadrant 3? And remember, what we said is that they both have to be negative. Doesn't matter which number. It could even be outside. It could be big numbers if you want. So Nathan Sanchez. Wow, you said that very smooth. -1, -2. Am I yelling? Am I the one that's yelling? Oh yeah, that's good. -1, -2. That would be right there. X, Y. Very good. Maybe I'm yelling. I don't know why I'm yelling. How about Jonathan Lamas? Are you back? Jonathan Lamas? No, he's not. Okay, here we go. Justin Calleros. Justin, can you give me one?
-3 and -3.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It could be -3, -100. It's still going to fall under that area, right? So it doesn't matter. -3, -3. Yeah. Right there. That's good. Very good. That's awesome. And then another one, Sarah Madrigal. Can you give me one more that's gonna fall on quadrant 3? Oh, I didn't record. Oh man. So now I'm gonna call individuals to come out with quadrant 4. So remember, quadrant 4 is what? Hey. Quadrant 4. All right. So quadrant 4, it's positive, then negative. So again, 4, comma, -100. It's going to be down here somewhere, way down there. And then the other one is 1. Remember, that's X. Then -30, all the way somewhere down there. All right, so that's your green. And then that's your like orange. It's orange here, but it's all good. All right, so let me go ahead and call some individuals. Hold on real quick. Let me get this out. Call some individuals for this. All right. Here. So again, it has to be in a certain format, the equation. So this is what they did, is that you have your y. and you've probably heard of this, y equals mx plus b, okay? Y equals mx plus b. So for the most part, the y and your x are all these points, but you don't know which points are on the line. So that's why they leave it alone, okay? The y and the x. Now the m is going to have a number. And then the b is also going to have a number, okay? So I could say, okay, this is 3, and this is going to be plus 4, okay? So if it's in that format, then you could graph it. Later on, we're going to do different formats. Okay, so here, what does a B represent? So before we do this, let's go ahead and draw a graph, okay? So does anybody remember what the B represents? Do you guys remember that? So the B, and I'll tell you guys, the B represents the starting point. This is the starting point. So when you're going to graph, okay, this is where you're going to start. Okay, well, where am I going to start? Where's the 4? Because there's a 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's a 4 right here. Because all the other ones are negative. Where am I going to start? Am I going to start on the X or the Y? Where? Well, let's cover all this right here. Let's cover this. What does it say? Y equals 4. Okay? Y equals 4. Y equals 4. So that's obviously on the Y. Okay? So you're going to put it right here. On here. Okay? On the Y. So if you ever forget, if it's in that format, just cover the right here, this. It says Y is equal to 4. Okay? So I'm going to put it right here. Why is that, mister? Because if x is 0, 3 times 0 is 0. So 0 plus 4, so that here is 0 comma 4. So put xy and 0 comma 4. So I hope the kids who actually were saying, what up, mister, are actually doing notes, because it appeared if you're not paying attention, you're probably not even writing notes. So, or waiting for the video. Yay! All right, so here we go. So for the most part, there it is, okay? 4, okay? That's it. That's 0 comma 4 in the grid, okay? So now what you got to do is you got to now move it, okay? You got to move it. Okay, so that's the M. It's usually called the slope. The M is called the slope. That's okay, and the Y, this one's called the Y-intercept. Okay, that's where the line's going to cross the Y. That's where it's going to intercept it. Okay, so how do you do it? Where do we move? I moved 3. Yeah, but when you got to move X and Y. So what they did is they came up with the formula. Change in Y over change of X. Some teachers say rise over run. But it's like, okay, what does that mean? Rise. Okay, I get it. But the meaning is the change of Y over the change of X. The change of Y over the change of X. So you're going to rise, right? So remember, the change of Y is up or down, and the change of X is you're going to run. Rise over run. The change of Y over change of X. That's what it means, right? Because some kids know what rise. Oh yeah, rise over run. But what does it mean? Oh, I don't know. I just know rise over. Yeah, but that's the whole purpose. Is that you're changing in your Y, then you're moving in the X's. Okay. So here you have what? So here we have the 3. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 3. And because it's a number, I'm gonna put over 1. Over 1. Okay. 3 over 1. All right. So remember, in the Y, positive is always up or to the right. So since we're doing change of Y, that's going to go up. change of x is to the right. So now you're going to go back to the point, and you're going to go 3 up, 1, okay? And we're just going to go ahead and count 1. So let's go ahead and count it. Ready? Are we ready? So we'll count with some music. All right. So here we go. Ready? 3, 1, 3, 1. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. And remember, it's going to be like a straight line. Ready? Now we're going to go the opposite. Wait. So the opposite, instead of going up, I'm going to go down. Okay, so I'm going to go down. Ready? 1, 2, 3. But if I go to the right, then I'm going to have a weird line, right? So I want to go to the left. 1, 2, 3, and then 1. So it's a little bit off. 1. So ready? So 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. All right, so that's it. So now you're gonna get a straight edge. If you have something in your kitchen, you can do that. Something like here's now like a straight edge. See some angel hair. So here now this one's gonna be a little crooked because the top part isn't correct. So it should have been like this. Okay, you see that? It should have been like this. See, so this one's off. It should have been over here. And that one should have been, that's off, right? So that's not part of the line. So that's way off. Okay, and it's not a solution. All right, so let's just look at it again. Okay, let me. All right, here we go. So here's this one. Ready? So again, your starting point is your B, your 7. So remember it, and if you want to use color, that's fine. So we're looking for positive 7, so that's gonna be on top. So let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right there. Right there, there's your 7, which is technically 0, 7. Because remember, when I cover the 2 times x, it's y equals 7, right? Y equals 7. So if I put 0, 2 times 0 is 0, plus 7 is 7. So it works out, right? That's why it's 0, 7. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and move it. All right. We're going to move it. All right. So we're going to move it. So where are we going to move it? So let's go ahead and hold on. All right. So here we go. So we're going to move it. And so we're going to go, M is a change of Y over change of X. Remember, the Y is up or down, and the X is right or left. Okay, so we need this number, which is what? Which is 3. So there's your M. Is your 3 over what? 3 over 1. Okay, so 3 over 1, and there, remember, it's going to go up and then to the right. Change of y over the change of x. Rise over run. Okay, that's what they mean. Rise over run, but it's a change of y over the change of x. All right, so far so good? All right, so now let's go ahead and move it. Remember, 3 from right here, your starting point, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then move 1 to the right. And it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. See that? It's sort of like a straight line. Now what's the opposite? It's going down and then to the left. Ready? Here we go. 3 and 1. Ready? 3 and 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, back 1. 1, 2, 3, back 1. 1, 2, 3, back 1. So there you go. Straight line. I got my angel hair. Here we go. Go. Yeah, there you go. Línea. There you go. There's your equation. Y is so this line represents y equals 2x plus 7. And again, let me start it over. You got your what? Your starting point because it's in the what's called slope intercept form. All right. So again, on this one, y is equal to 4x plus 1. Let's see. Y equals mx plus b. Yep, it's in that form. Look at that. See that? It's in that form, so I could graph it. All right. So then what do? What's your starting point? Your starting point is 1. Remember? You're 1. So right here, let's just find the positive 1. So let's just say it's right there. Positive 1. Okay? And then your m, change in y over the change of x, which is 4 over 1. Don't worry about this one. It's not 4 over 1 because we already used it. So it's 4 over 1 because 4 over 1 is 4. Look at the other one. It wasn't, it was 3 over 1, but that was 7. I didn't put 3 over 7. I didn't put 3 over 4. It was 3 over 1. So here it's the same thing, 4 over 1, because this is your starting point. Okay? Your starting point, which is obviously the point is 0, 1. So what are we going to do? Go up and to the right. Okay, so here we go. You ready? 4 up and 1 to the right. Here we go. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Now we're going to go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, number 1. And then that's it. See, it's a straight line. And then you draw it. Draw it. Draw it. Bam. So 4, 1. 4, 1. Negative. Negative. All right? Because it's negative 4 over negative 1. All right, cool. So that was my last example. All right, 4, 1, and then the opposite is negative 4, negative 1, negative 4, negative 1, negative 4, negative 1. Because remember, a negative divided by a negative is positive. You get the same thing, positive 4. See that? So go ahead and draw that. And then your homework, one graph should take you like 1 minute, guys. Really? I'm going to give you 5 of them. Okay? So go ahead and write this, and then I have to take attendance. So as you're doing it, I'll take the attendance. All right? Sorry about that. Hold on. There's the last one. And then where's the homework? All right. Hold on. There it is.